Hallowed are the chairs. This
Hallowed
week,
are the
you
chairs.
mad, bro? You mad, bro? It's bro.
Full pop collar is bad.
Yeah, no, these ropes don't have collars. But if I were wearing a collared shirt underneath these, they would most certainly be popped. This is Isbarah by Leikir Studios, developed on the Unity engine. You can pick it up for $13.99 with Stinkies. And what is it? Isbarah is a cross-genre bullet hell platformer style. It's a hardcore 2D game. Each level is a duel with a boss fight. Players will need to fully understand the boss's patterns. Really what this means? Well, you know what? We'll get into that. And of course, as it is submitted for the chair acquisition by the lovely developers, it must face the chair acquisition. 1 chair means that it's crap. 2 chairs means that it's meh. 3 chairs means that it's pretty good. 4 chairs means that it's awesome. And of course, we have our categories: Doom, mixed with working, shiny sounds control, and fun. So let us kick this off, brah. Did it work, brah?
Do you even chairs, brah? Come on. Pop collars. All right. So I played this on the Ubuntu 1404 LTS octo-core 980 4K displayed box of business. And here's something that a lot of people might not have to deal with. I have 3 monitor organs of 28, 27, and whatever this thing is up here.
1366 by 768.
That Jordan just loves to talk about. He's like, it's so cute, I want to play with it. And
No, Ben, that's just your penis.
Oh, you're such a sweetheart. No wonder you're single. Guess what happened when, all right, I was playing at 3840, then I switched to 2560 because it's more reasonable size to edit the videos on the 4K display. And I normally run that as my daily driver, also known as 2K. It did not remember my resolution settings. Why is this a pain in the ass? You might ask, Vin. Well, Brad, I'll tell you. Because I have to go back in, reset it to 4K, save the X file, XOR config, restart X, then go back into the game, change it to that other resolution, close that, resave the X file, restart X, then I can fucking play it in the other resolution. I've never experienced this with any other game. This is, I don't know, just a perfection of asshattery is all I can say. So, mixed with the working. Outside of that, everything else ran fine. I mean, it ran out of constant, 120, 150 FERPs, even at 4K. No issues there. But for having to deal with that, you get dinged, son. 2 chairs.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Fedora 21 powered AMD 1090Ti NVIDIA 670 superclocked box of business by my foot ran without issues. Yeah, literally nothing went wrong. Started up, was able to start playing the game. Game, on the other hand, is another matter entirely. But at least for mixed with the working, it gets the 4 chairs.
Yeah, and on the Amiga with the FX 8370E and the GTX 970 Strix, it on Corora 64-bit. It actually ran out of the box, no issues. I would have liked to try it on the Steam machine, but I could not. So, 4 chairs.
It's impossible. It's 3 chairs for mixed with the working. Up next, Shinny and Sounds. Ven, did it shin?
Did it shin? All right, the inconsistency of the art style in this game is fuck all jarring. I really want to believe that 2 separate people organs were responsible for drawing the cutscenes versus the actual levels, unfortunately. Brothers and sisters. Unfortunately, this is probably one person who is moderately capable of drawing fantasy landscapes, backdrops, and whatnots. But for the levels, it's good. I like it. But when they draw the storyboard bits, they are painfully bad at drawing carbon-based entities or things that resemble them. An example, I like to call him Rudolph, the rapey god, with his red nose. Look at him. And
cocaine.
Yeah.
Even God does.
He just looks like, not the guy you want to meet in a dark alley, and I don't understand with the blushy nose business. I genuinely do.
He's drunk.
That said, the background, they're nice. I like it. I like how it looks, and for some reason, the color palette reminds me of a Sega Genesis game. And unfortunately, so do the sounds. It was, really an unintentional retro vibe I got going on. And for the most part, it worked. So, if I can find my mouse cursor, I'm going to give this 3 cheers.
I don't know, man. The art style is there, but it doesn't really do anything for me. I mean, I'm all for the hand-drawn look, but you got to make sure that your drawings are really, really good, or else it just kind of looks like someone dashed something out on paper, scanned it, and then loaded it as a game assets. The sounds, they're just kind of there. I kind of ignored them after a while. Didn't really appeal to me all that much. I'd say graphically it's an auditory and orally it is just a middle of the road game, and so it gets a middle of the road score. 2 chairs.
Yeah, the art style was definitely there for me. I liked it. There was nothing to write home about, but I liked it. It looked all right. The sound, on the other hand, I just couldn't fucking deal with it. 30 seconds in, and I was muting the music sound because all that unintentional retro style, like, was it Ven or Jordan, one of them, that said that it doesn't work for me, and I don't maybe it's just me, but this kinds of games, they need some audio cues to make things work, and it didn't really do that, so 2 chairs.
All right, so that's 2 whole chairs for Shinny and Sounds. Up next is Contrial. Then, how did it contrial?
Okay, fuck this bullshit right in its ear organ.
Now we get to the meat of the matter.
I see several people asking in the forums for controller support, only to be told, and I want to make this right, the game was not designed for it. You know what? You're right. This game was not designed for controller support. But it sure as hell wasn't designed for keyboard and gerbil either. That's kind of the issue.
Bitch.
The one mechanic that you might not be able to translate to a controller is that platform you have to draw, and the game relies heavily on that because you get in some fuck you scenarios where that's the only way to save your ass. Mix that with a time slowdown. But the thing is, Brad, that only works half the fuck mothering time with a gerbil. So, I don't think I'm really missing out anything. It's just like a retarded mechanic. It's brain melting. You have half things over here, then half the other shit you have to do with the gerbil, and it's not accurate. Maybe they'll fix it. We've waited several weeks before doing this, and they gave us the keys. They contacted us first, and they even came back a couple of weeks later and said, well, you're going to give this a review, Brad? I'm like, we're just going to hold off. Maybe you get some things sorted out. But they didn't. 2 chairs because it's not completely busted, but they just don't work as it says on the tin.
I personally am on the opinion that unless your platformer is a first-person platformer like Mirror's Edge or that other one we reviewed a while back where you couldn't see your feet, you're going to need to design your platforming around a controller. And so you don't do this. And then to compound it, you add random mouse flailing. Yes, I see. This is brilliant. I don't know. When it comes to platforming and WASD, my brain does not mesh. So you just end up trying to dodge shit. And then you have to draw lines and crap and you flail your mouse around. And I don't think it could have been an interesting mechanic, but I don't think that when it comes to practical land that it really works, because you end up just like flailing around. You have like such a small timer to do your dash to, so you're gonna end up getting killed to death. I don't know. The controls are just completely fucking terrible. Usually 1 chair is reserved for when something is completely borked, but this is borked by design. 1 chair.
Yeah, I very much echo what Jordan said. There is no controller support. Drawing the lines with the mouse fails more often than it succeeds, and when I looked at the Steam forums to try and find some actual fix for this, people were suggesting lowering the polling rate on the mouse, and I'm sorry, but I'd have to be on some serious crack trip to fuck with the firmware on my Rocat Kova Plus, because I'm not going to do that on a mouse that costs around 5 times more than this game does. But wait, there's more. They describe the game as a bullet hell platformer type thing, right? What do those two genres have in common? They need proper and tight controls, and platforming and attempting to dodge bullets on the default Unity physics is like attempting to steer a car with slick tires through rush hour on a frickin' rainy day. It does not work. It just doesn't fucking work. Tighten this up or it just can't. It won't work properly. So yeah, the controls are totally and utterly busted on this game. 1 chair.
All right, so that's 1 chair for controls. And finally, fun. Then, did you have fun?
Brother Sving, I think there's something we need to bring up of how long that we were able to tolerate this game. Now, out of love, out of pain, I was only able to last 25 minutes. Because it's fucking broken. The hitboxes are even off. That's in the forums out of the 12 hole posts that you see in there. And when you're dealing with busted controls, hitboxes are not working, invisible random shields showing up. What are you going to say? I mean, this game is difficult, but that's only because of the awkward arse controls. Every level is a boss fight, but the boss only exists as a backdrop. It's just noise. There might be a story to this, but the fucking premise is pants on heads retarded. Mix that in with a 13.99 wet stinky asking price, and you get yourself a big honking glass of nope. No, sir. I did not have fun with this. I'm going to give it 1 chair, but I'm not going to give it an asteroid, an astrid, or whatever that is. It needs to be fundamentally redesigned with the controls from the ground up. J-Man.
This game is fucking stupid. Thanks for the key, though. No, seriously. I see in chat realm Striders complaining about how neither Ven and I really played the game this week. I tried. I literally did. But if I'm going to play a game, I have to be enjoying myself to do that. Otherwise, I'm just going to get bored and do something else. Now, does that make me a good game reviewer? Probably not. Does that make my opinion matter in the context of this review? Yes, it fucking does. This game is terrible. I cannot play it for more than 20 minutes before I just give up because it is so dumb. The controls are so busted. The premise is so flawed from the beginning that I cannot stand it, especially when there are more fun games I could be playing at that moment. Dragon Ball Z Universe.
Torchlight 2. That one's actually
Torchlight 2, yeah. There are good games out there that I will sink hours into. This is not one of them. I did not enjoy it, and I don't think you will either. 1 chair.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Ven and Jordan on this one. I power through 2 hours of this goddamn game. I got to like the 5th stage. It's the 4th one after the tutorial level, and I couldn't do it anymore. It just gets to a point where the mazes that you have to do on some of the levels are just so very hard, and you need to be precise with all the clicking and the dragging and to make the dash that you just can't do it. And if you're trying to activate one of the turrets while you're doing the dash in order to avoid one of the bullet hell scenarios, more often than not, it's going to get you killed. And they need to tighten this up, or otherwise this game is just going to keep on sucking for the foreseeable future. So for me, it gets 1 chair.
Oh, man, this game is so bad it makes me want to cough up my lungs and other organs. That's 1 chair for fun. And if we tally all this up, this piece of garbage game gets 1 whole chair. I don't even think we need to go into final thoughts because we've fairly clearly said what we think of this game.
Well,
it is just
I
not fun.
do want to
I
say
would
one
like
thing
to address one thing.
because when I'm talking.
What was that?
Yeah, he was addressing the fact that I was talking. So you can tell a lot of love went into this. I had like this weird theory that we designed it for the PC, maybe. All right, I don't get the mouse mechanic. It's like somebody wanted to like, oh, we could do that with a controller and not use that. And they looked at the Unity's controller support and went, mouse it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's just my running theory. You were saying, P-Man?
But yeah, Windcask in Chat Realm was actually saying that he didn't actually like Dust, but Dust was actually competent in its platforming and the combat and everything else. This game is not. The controls don't fucking work half the time. It's busted.
Well,
either
to be fair, Dust was a Flibit port, so
yeah, it was a Flibit port. So whatever Moon controller you happen to have, like even say an NVIDIA Shield controller, that's probably going to work. Not on this game though. You want to try it with a controller? Fuck you. Nope.
Good stuff.